Ukrainian troops set up an ambush that caught the Russians off guard in treacherous trenches and stunning tactical skills. This unexpected turn of events not only demonstrates the brave determination of the Ukrainian troops, but also highlights the dire reality that soldiers on the front line have to live with, in the part that drains the tears. Trench warfare has long been associated with challenging and exhausting combat for both sides, and it played a key role in Ukraine's recent conflict against Russian aggression. This intricate network of trenches and fortifications provided the Ukrainian troops with vital cover and cover, allowing them to withstand the onslaught of the better prepared Russian troops. Ukrainian troops near Bakhmut used US howitzers to lure the Russians into a trap. Explosions were heard as Ukrainian soldiers escorted us through the forest. Since we arrived at their positions on the outskirts of the Russian-occupied city of Bakhmut, the Ukrainian 17th Tank Brigade's firepower has never stopped. They had been attacking Russian positions around the town for weeks as the Ukrainians pushed for a counter-offensive. Recapturing the industrial city, despite its minimal strategic value, was Ukraine's main objective, given that thousands of lives were lost on both sides as they fought for it. The general of the Ukrainian ground forces suggested this week that the Russian invaders in Bakhmut were running out of options after claiming control of the destroyed city, saying, "The enemy is caught in a trap." The 17th Tank Brigade was part of the trap, but the Ukrainian troops were not targeting their Russian foes with tanks, but a supplied M109 self-propelled howitzers. Ukraine has dozens of American-made artillery pieces, and they have become a vital frontline weapon in counter-offensives. But using big guns carried risks for the troops operating them so close to Russian positions. Each shell they fired also sent a large plume of smoke into the air, which could give their position to Russian drones hovering in the area, attracting return fire. Further in the dense forest, we find a 24-year-old Roman commander. He was so relaxed that he looked like he was fishing, but he tells us the battle goes on day and night, and howitzers are a vital tool because they are reliable and work well. The more guns, the more ammunition, the better, he says. The more precise they are, the more enemies we kill. In addition, Ukrainian military strategists demonstrated tactical brilliance using various defensive measures. This included the strategic placement of sniper units to disrupt enemy advances, the use of anti-tank weapons to neutralize armor attacks, and the deployment of counter-attacks to keep Russian troops on their toes. This calculated maneuver not only blunted the Russian attack, but demoralized their troops, forcing them to retreat. Drones or forward scouts on the ground identified Russian targets and determined attack coordinates, which were then called up to the Romans. He radioed one of the gun positions, and then a gunner took aim and sent another 155mm round flying at the Russians. A drone surveys the battlefield from above to see if its shells hit their targets. At the rate they are burning through artillery, it's easy to see why they are always asking for more, and why they are so eager to see the US promise of its controversial cluster munitions fulfilled as soon as possible. That is very useful ammo, Roman tells us, as a huge explosion shakes the ground with another howitzer shell erupting. They've proven effective. The more we get, the better, of course. One of President Volodymyr Zelensky's key roles as wartime leader was to continue to pressure the US and Ukraine's other international partners to ensure the flow of weapons to his country. Without them, Ukraine would never have been able to survive Russia's onslaught, let alone start pushing Vladimir Putin's troops back the other way. Zelensky made his plea for more direct support to NATO alliance leaders this week, joining the NATO summit in Vilnius, Lithuania on Tuesday. He called it absurd that the US and other members of the alliance showed weakness by failing to set a clear timetable for his country to join the bloc. Meanwhile, the successful defense of Ukrainian troops in the trenches was a significant turning point in the ongoing conflict between Ukraine and Russia. This resounding victory demonstrates Ukraine's ability to withstand Russian aggression and sends a strong message to the international community of the country's determination to protect its sovereignty. While the ambush brought temporary victory to the Ukrainian forces, the emotional toll it took cannot be underestimated. The moat, once a symbol of protection, is a reminder of the horrors of war. Soldiers, hardened by relentless conflict, bore the brunt of the loss and witnessed firsthand the devastating consequences of aggression. At the same time, the importance of diplomacy should not be underestimated. Ukraine must actively pursue diplomatic channels, seek dialogue and negotiations to reduce tensions and find a peaceful resolution to the conflict. The victory in the trenches is a testament to Ukraine's capabilities, which can strengthen its position at the negotiating table.